Water is a physical nightmare. In the real world, fluid dynamics is governed by the Navier-Stokes equation. It's a set of partial differential equations describing how the fluid moves that are so difficult to compute that solving them can literally win you $1 million prize. So, as a game developer, I looked at the mathematical bounty and my reaction was, nah, no way. I'm not gonna do that. I'll find another way, never mind. Because in computer graphics, we don't simulate actual physics, we simulate optical lies. And the king of liquid deception is the Fresnel effect. Looking straight down shows you pebbles, but looking at the horizon turns the water into a mirror. So, let's look at how I broke my custom engine's rendering pipeline just to get shiny reflections. I started by rendering a simple scene with a cube and set up the player movement and collision with the cube. I started by rendering a complete flat grid plane. Right now, it's so lifeless and boring. So let's add some movement. My brilliant idea was to manipulate every single vertex on this plane manually on the CPU, every frame. The wave mathematics are pretty standard, a simple sum of sine simulation. We layer a few sine and cosine frequency together, offset the heights and let it run. Hey, look, we've got waves! But why does it look like a fucking plastic sheet? At this point, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do anymore.
Hey you want realistic water, right? Here you go.
So, after drinking the glass of water, I got this shader and I swear this is not AI generated code. I swear I'm not lying. Right now, the red cube just cuts through the water with this ugly sharp edge. In real life, things get harder to see the deeper they go because water absorbs and scatters light. By comparing the water surface depth against the pre-rendered screen depth map, we compute a depth difference. Objects near the surface stay visible while deeper sections exponentially fade into the watercolor. Now, to test this shader, I created a mountain with a lake thing. We need some shadows. After fixing the lighting on the mountain, we can see the results are pretty good. And we can continue with the actual reflection.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
When setting up planar reflections, you mirror a virtual camera beneath the water surface. But if you don't clip geometry at the waterline, that reflection camera renders the entire object, including the submerged bottom half. This creates a bizarre ghost cube cutout floating directly on the water surface that tracks every movement on the y-axis. To fix this, you have to clip or discard any geometry below the water level during the reflection pass. First, we convert our vector clip space position into normalized screen coordinate. Then, to make reflection ripple with water instead of looking flat, we use our x and z wave normal to offset those screen coordinates. But if a wave distorts too much near the cast, it can accidentally grab pixel from an island or a rock sitting in front of the water. So we sample our linearized depth map at the new position. If that depth is closer than the water surface itself, we cancel the offset and snap back to the clean coordinate. Finally, we flip the y-axis to match our screen space texture, sample the planar reflection map and blend it to our base watercolor using our computed Fresnel value. And with all those passes combined, our water shader is finally complete.